Oh my gosh, what are we doing? I don't know. Hey everyone, this is Travis Lakata, and I am here to give a Survivor Draft update. This is Laughing as We Go. It's a Whiny Parent podcast where I discuss whatever I want to talk about. Meg and I did our first draft together and it involved the players of Survivor Season 40, Winners at War. Um, I'll also talk a couple of highlights from the first episode. So let's just dive right in and get started with the draft update and how Megan, she's already crushing me quite a bit. Now, Megan's team didn't earn any points after the first week, so she's still at 0 points. But based off our point system, um, points for minus 3 points for first boot, points for most confessionals, finding an idol, and yada yada yada. Um, most confessionals I had tied, and I tracked these confessionals myself, uh, and actually found a Reddit total that also showed a tie between each of our players. So no one tracked any points for confessionals. Um, let's see. Since I have Natalie, I lost 3 points for the first boot, but Natalie did earn a point for finding an idol. So after the first episode, I'm sitting at minus 2 points, while Megan is at 0 points. And you think, okay, that's not too bad. But it should be noted that the first two players voted off were both my players. So I had both Natalie and Amber, and that just didn't work out too well for me. Um, but a really entertaining first episode. And before I jump into that, I will say I want to remind everyone to stop by whinyparent.com. Whiny Parenting, Whiny Parent is the parenting blog that Megan and I created to kind of share our parenting adventures and struggles. So we talk about our highs and lows. We give product recommendation and reviews, parenting tips, date night ideas, and even the occasional cocktail recipe. So if you can, please head over to whinyparent.com, follow our blog, and you can find Whiny Parent on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. So if you search for us, that's at Whiny Parent. That's WINEY Parent. Okay. Uh, let's talk about the episode and highlights that I think were just amazing television to watch. First, I want to say this is one of the best episodes I think I've ever seen, if not the best. There was such a gut wrenching, what the hell is going to happen feeling like almost every single step of the way. So I think the producers of the show did a really amazing job putting together a 2 hour premiere that really highlighted how dominant some of our giants in the game are, like Boston Rob, Parvati, and Queen Sandra. Um, their ability to maneuver among winners is such an incredible thing to watch. So it's very entertaining. So highlights. I'm gonna discuss a few highlights from the second hour in the immunity challenge that was in the second hour. Um, Jeremy winning the final obstacle in the individual immunity challenge with the ring tosses, that was great. Seeing the team's reaction after he did it, seeing his reaction, um, because I don't know, would Jeremy have gone home if they lost? With Natalie going home first, we didn't get to see what conversations were had afterwards and what the feeling back in their camp would have been had they lost the second time in a row. So I was happy not only was Jeremy my first pick in the draft, like he's my winner pick, and he's just one of my all-time favorites to watch. So I definitely cheered out loud when he he tossed that final ring and it landed. Um, but to get to that point, earlier in that same challenge, it was incredible to see Boston Rob in the entire challenge. Seeing him catapult people from his back or shoulders to get over that barrel obstacle, that was crazy. And by the time it was him and Jeremy left, and there was a little bit of a struggle to get over, and it seemed like they were both exhausted. And it seemed like they're okay, they're done. There's no way they're getting over. And then you have Ethan getting on top of Ben's shoulders to pull Jeremy over, and then grabbing onto Rob and getting him over. And while he's doing that, seeing and hearing Ethan yell, "Pull me!" That was such an amazing thing to see and hear. So, an incredible challenge. And the effort from this team, especially Boston Rob, was huge. Um, and I think the challenge also highlights Rob's awareness in the game and not just his instincts when communicating with other people. Like stuff like using the paddle to push away from obstacles that they ran into or to grab onto another obstacle when they were overshot their landing with a as they were paddling the boat. Um, so I think his performance helped prevent them from getting further behind than they already were, and then his catapulting people over the barrel helped them catch up, and to a point where Jeremy boom 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 with the ring tosses and they won. Um, so not to continue on with too many highlights. That's where I'm going to land it. The the obstacle challenge, Boston Rob's performance within the challenge, and Jeremy finishing it off uh, to save the Sele tribe. Sele tribe, is that right? From going to a back-to-back tribal council. Moving forward, uh, I think Sandra having an idol is a huge thing. If her tribe goes to tribal council, I could see her putting the target on herself or maybe on someone else who she wants to work with and maybe save that person. I think there's a limit on the tribal council, so I believe it expires. So I could see she's such a crafty player. Um, I could see her pulling something out to where she would make people second guess putting her name down if she pulls out an idol and it works. Uh, so I think Sandra with an idol is just devastating for anyone else. And I think if I were to make a prediction, seeing the cold shoulder applied to Kim, it's hard to imagine things getting better for her in the very next episode. I know there's some talk about, I think, Yul and Sophie looking to bring her in, but until I see that in the next episode, I have to say that I think she's the next one to go until I see something different with my own eyes and I see it play out. Um, so yeah, I think moving forward, Sandra having the idol's huge. If I were to pick a next boot, I'd pick Kim to be that next one. I hope that's not the case that she goes home. And of course, I could probably be saying that about almost every single player on this season. So rooting for people, and then when they see people go home, it's like, oh, why did it have to be them? But when you look at it, it's like, well, it's going to be someone. So those are my thoughts on the premiere episode, as well as an update on our draft, where Megan's crushing me already. So thanks for listening along, and hope to be back soon. Until next time, bye.